Hi, Jai. I'm Vanessa from talkSPORT's MMA channel. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. I'm actually enjoying some nice weather for once, which is
Yeah.
quite nice.
Yeah, I've heard it's hot over there, but yeah, man. I hope it's nice.
I mean, you're in Abu Dhabi now preparing, I assume.
Yeah, yeah, we got here Sunday. So yeah, it's nice, man. It's really hot here. It's about like nearly 48 degrees, I think. Boiling.
Oh my God, I can't even comprehend what that would be like, to be
Uh,
quite honest with you. Like from Australia, but never been to the actual desert where I'd have to be
yeah.
training in 48-degree heat. Never mind a sauna, Jesus. We're there on the weekend in Manchester.
No, no. I was literally traveling down while the fights were on. I was on the way to the airport, so we was watching it in the minibus on the way there to the airport to Heathrow. So we did get to see the fights, but I wasn't there live, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been quite of an emotional roller coaster for you as well, having your teammates as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. Definitely, yeah. We had a few teammates on there. We had Christian on there, Arnold, and of course Leon. So we had a bit of mixed results, but we move, and the guys will definitely be back up there, and Leon will definitely be back and getting that title.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a perfect gym. I mean, the guys in your gym are really kind of coming through and showing their talent and making a stamp on British MMA and MMA in general. So this weekend, I mean, how do you feel going into your next fight? I mean, what are you expecting?
I feel great. I've had a really good camp. I know it's been a year and what's like 13 months since I've last fought got in cage, but I've been doing a lot of work in that time, and I feel great, man. Ready to put on a great performance on Saturday night.
I mean, you have had some like ups and downs. I know in the last
Yeah,
fight was a bit of a controversial. What have you sort of learned to take away from sort of these experiences, both high and low, to bring into like, your career as well as the next fight?
yeah. I mean, you got to take the lessons from each performance. Regardless of the result, you have to take a lessons from each performance, to build in your career. And which I have done, and I've learned a lot these past 4 years I've been in the UFC, and it's made me the person I am today, and I wouldn't change it for the world, really. So I'm just happy where I'm at now as a fighter, as a man, and yeah, that's what I'm ready to do. Ready Saturday, I'm gonna show what I've been working on.
That's really good. I mean, do you have any sort of words of wisdom for someone that would come into want to get into MMA or get into UFC, that some of the lessons that you've learned, like from those
Yeah,
lessons?
I mean, I started MMA when I was like 24. I think I had my first amateur fight when I was 24, so I was like obviously started really late. But I just went in there with an open mind. I thought I'd probably I'd probably get my ass kicked and then for the first week, but next thing you know, I'm here now in the UFC. It's been a crazy journey. But just you just gotta go in there and stay and give it a go. Stay resilient. It might not always go your way, but it's you gotta stay strong and stay in there, and you learn from your lessons. Ups and downs like I have done, and you'll make you a better person.
I mean, do you find that the fact that you started MMA sort of a bit later in your professional and amateur career, that it's sort of served you a favor because your body was able to mature without taking the damage, and then now you're able to have a lot more of a sort of longevity in your career as a fully formed like adult
Yeah,
in your body?
yeah, that probably does. Like that's why I'm like at this age, 36. I'm feeling so good. Is that I haven't been doing it since I was like 16, or competing since I was 16. You know, um, so I am fresh. I haven't got the miles on me, so most definitely. But that's another thing you got to do as a young athlete coming into this game. You got to make sure you're training correctly, you're doing everything right. You're sparring, you're grappling. And because you got to think about longevity in the sport, and how far you want to take it.
Okay, so you're fighting Saturday. How do you see that going down? And then what's next for you then, speaking of longevity and what's in store for your future?
Yeah, I see that going down. Me winning, and fighting again, um, probably on the next Abu Dhabi card in October.
Yeah, how do you see you getting the wind on?
I'm obviously going in there for the stoppage. for KO or for the sub, obviously. But I'm ready for 3 rounds. I know the guy is tough. Yeah, and he's a tough kid, but I'm going in there to get the stoppage.
Very nice. Okay. Well, a couple of predictions, if you wouldn't mind, if I could get off you. You've got you have faced Ilya Tapora. I'm sure you're probably tired of people bringing up that fight, but although it didn't go your way, it was a really beautiful performance on your end. I mean, he's going to be fighting Max Holloway. How do you see this fight sort of finishing?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Okay, no
Not too
problem.
sure.
And then also in your weight division, Mexican Independence Day, the first UFC card in the sphere, down Brian Ortega fighting Diego Lopez. Any predictions on that?
I think Brian Ortega. I fancy Brian Ortega in that fight. It's a really good fight, really good matchup, man. It's going to be, an entertaining fight, but I see Brian Ortega getting it done, possibly by stoppage, strike with the strikes.
Yeah, I actually think that's potentially going to go down as fight of the night on that card, actually. That's sort of my prediction looking
Yeah,
at.
definitely, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, for sure. And then on the card that you're fighting on this weekend, Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa, do you think this is the last time we see Tony?
Um, it's going to be a hard fight for Tony. I think I know. Kiesa's the natural welterweight, but you never know. I can't. You can never. I know he's coming off like he's had a few fights he's lost, Tony, but you never count him out. I've seen on social media that he's saying that he's come back to sparring. He hasn't been sparring for the last 7 years, but now he's done about 120 rounds for this fight. So you never know. You never know. You could turn back the time, and go in there and get the win.
No man doesn't do things by halves. It's either all or
I
nothing.
know, yeah, that's the thing, yeah. But
Maybe
let them know. He's given us some great fights over the years, so I've got a lot of respect for Tony Ferguson.
think it's kind of those things like I mean when he fought Paddy, it was like kind of like, oh, your heart's torn between wanting to support like, your local fighter, you really want to see win, and then seeing this like legend and veteran of the sport, and
Yeah.
like the heart was so torn in that. But yeah, and then if we do see Conor McGregor come back, which I'm not holding my breath for, against Michael Chandler, do you think that we see that fight, and how do you see that one finishing?
I think it will happen because I think Conor, man, I just don't think I think he's going to have at least one more. And I think Conor he'll get the stoppage, man. I think he'll stop Chandler. If it's early, I think he'll stop him. But if it goes past to three rounds, past the third round, I think Chandler will win.
Yeah, do you know, every person that I've spoken to, we all have like the same thing. We're like, first round, both of them are just going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at each other and then see what happens at the end, see who's
Yeah,
left to get out of the corner.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'll be a wild fight anyway, whatever happens.
Well, he's got 2 fights left on his contract, and I was thinking they bring Nate Diaz back on a 1 fight finish, the fight everyone wants to see. They all go off and ride off into the sunset, and that'd be the nicest way to sort of like wrap up their MMA careers.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably what they've got the plan there. Hopefully they've got that plan because I'd love to see both of those fights.
And then just lastly, just on Leon Edwards, if you wouldn't mind, there was a few things about him not being 100% when he went into that. And I know that you've sort of left. Is there any light you'd like to shed on that? And how do you think that he moves forward from this loss?
I think he moves forward from this loss. He'll get he'll get back on the horse and he'll get back there. Hopefully he gets the immediate rematch. And hopefully he's straight back in there and fights Bilal, and gets his title back. That's what I'm hoping. But if not, if you have to fight someone else before the rematch, then so be it. And I definitely believe he'll make his way back to the title. And he'll definitely get the title and reign again.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching that fight, I mean, it must have been quite frustrating for you knowing that your teammates were in there and you weren't sort of in the stadium supporting them. You're on the way, but he definitely didn't look at the best that we've seen him, and it was quite like frustrating. I don't know if it had to do with the timing of everything or what was happening in the gym, but you're in a really good place, and I think you've got a bright future ahead of you. Keep going. You're in one of the best gyms that you can have in the UK. So best of luck on the weekend. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Enjoy your afternoon.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.